Oh, hi. I'm just learning some vocabulary, or trying to memorize and remember vocabulary using my flashcards. Okay. So this video today is all about flashcards and how to use them. Okay. So we're going to look at flashcards to maybe paper or digital. You can do. There are several apps I'm going to mention to help you memorize vocabulary, or maybe grammar, or even spelling as well. Okay. And maybe you've tried them. I don't know. Have you ever tried flashcards where you write words on the cards here, maybe in your language and in English, to help you try to memorize the vocabulary? Okay. So, what level is this for? Well, if you any level, I think. Yeah, if you can understand me now, then you are the right level for this video. Okay. But it's important to use them correctly. So I'm going to show you how I use them and how I recommend you use them. And all I'm asking is, give them a chance. Try them. I think they're an excellent way to help you memorize vocabulary. Okay. Why should we use them? Well, in another YouTube video, which hopefully you may have seen, or you can go and watch it, how to memorize, how to remember vocabulary. I'll put a link in the description. I talk about the importance of repetition. Yep, you've got to see a word many times before you can remember it. Okay, and this is a great way for that repetition. Okay. As I said, you can just use paper. There are some digital apps. Quizlet is good, and Flashcards Deluxe is good. There are probably more. So I'm going to do some demonstrations on how to use these. I'm going to refer to some vocabulary which I focused on in another YouTube video. Have you ever missed a flight? Okay, so I'm not going to look at the meaning of the words I use here, because hopefully you've seen that video, or you can go and watch it. Okay, so one of the phrases I focused on in that video was "I'm in a panic." Oh my god. Okay, so before I even make the flashcard, and I talked about this in that other video that I just referred to, how to remember vocabulary, try to make a connection between the word and possibly a word in your language. So is there another word? We're looking at this word panic, really. Is there a word in your language which sounds similar, maybe with just the pan syllable? So if there's a word in your language that sounds similar, that's a good idea. Or you can try to make a connection with an English word. Okay, so for example, I'm going to think of a saucepan. Okay, so when you're cooking, yeah, you might use a saucepan. And let's imagine you took your eye off your sauce, you're cooking, and you forgot, and it's on fire. Oh my god, the house is going to burn down. Oh my god, I'm in a panic. So I've made a connection between a pan for cooking and panic. Okay, so this helps you remember. Okay, so the simplest way to do this then is just to have the word panic here, okay, and you have the word in your language. How do you say panic in your language? In Arabic, Spanish, French, Polish. How do you say panic? You write that on here, and that's fine. Some teachers will say you're a bad student for using your language. You must only use English. I'm okay with it. It's better if you can just use English. I agree with that. But I'm going to look at how to make this even more effective. Okay. Just to clarify though how that would work, if you had the word in your language, in Arabic for example, you would look at that, okay, and you would think, how do I say that in English? And you test yourself. It's much more effective if you test yourself, because then you know that you're starting to really learn and memorize the vocabulary, and then when you're in a conversation with a native speaker or whoever, you can then remember this word when you need to. Okay, so in your language, you look at it in your language, test yourself, what's that in English, and here it is on the other side. You look at the other side, yeah, you look at it in your language, turn it over, there it is. And you can do this, the app is the same, yeah, the apps are all the same, Quizlet, Flashcards Deluxe, it's the same kind of thing. The advantage of the apps is, well, some people like digital, yeah. It's a backup, because if you lose your paper, then they're gone, but you can back them up in the app. Also, you can have pronunciation on Quizlet, maybe not on all of them, but Quizlet does give you the English pronunciation, and it's very good as well. It's not robotic, it's not like a robot, it's very good natural pronunciation of the word Personally, I'm just a little bit worried about how much time I'm on my screens, so I quite like the paper. You can get nice little ones like this. You can make these yourself with a little key ring. Okay, you can buy, sometimes you can buy it. That one, I think I bought that one in the shop. I just cut it. It was a bit big, so I cut it in half. You can, you can do it, or you can just make them. I sometimes make them with coloured card like this. Okay. Right, let's try and make this a little bit more. I want some more detail. I want some more context. Okay, and I want to make it more personal to me. So I've got the phrase. Sorry, I had the word before, just panic. Yeah. Now let's put it in a phrase. In a panic. And let's have an example. And I'm going to have a personal example because that's going to help me remember it from my story in Malaysia, which I referred to in the video. So look, I was in a panic. I was in such a panic, it's a nice phrase, such a panic when I overslept in Malaysia. Okay. You can get an example from some dictionaries as well, but it's much better if you can make a personal example. It's more, it helps you remember. So as I said, you could have the phrase in your language, but I'm going to make this into a question for me. How did I feel when I overslept in Malaysia? Okay, so I'm just using English, and I've got to think of the phrase now. Oh, how did I feel? Overslept, oh my god, I'm going to miss my plane. And then I look at the answer on the other side in a panic. Okay. That's the best, for me, that's the best way to do it. Okay, how many times do you need to look at this? I think just, every day test yourself again. I've got lots and lots of different phrases here, so I'll, whenever I've got some time, spare time, I'll look at these to help. I'm learning Spanish to help me with my Spanish. When you think you really know it, okay, then I just remove the card and that's it. Hopefully it's in there. Just keep it in there till you know it, I think. Right, you can also try to learn, use these, to help you memorize grammar. So for example, there's a preposition here. You could have a gap fill for the preposition. And you think, what's the preposition of, at, to, I don't know, in, maybe in. And look, there it is. Okay, so you could use it for prepositions, very good I think for that. We could use it for some grammar, okay? So we had the phrase, I don't know if you remember this, I'll test you. This is how I'm going to test you. I've made a gap fill here. It was possible, yeah, but I didn't miss the flight, but it was possible, and I've made it into a gap fill, and I've given myself the infinitive, and there are 2 words needed. Can you remember, or can you use your grammar, brilliant grammar knowledge to give me the answer? Okay, and then I'm going to have to think, could have missed, I think, and I've made a contraction as well, could have missed. Okay, so you look at that side to test yourself, so you can have a gap fill. Right, also good for spelling. I think the best thing for these is vocabulary, to be honest, but I've used it a lot for grammar, and it is good for grammar. Say if you've just learned the second conditional, make a load of personal examples about yourself using the second conditional, get them as a gap fill there, works really well. Spelling's quite good. Look, so I've got, this will test vocabulary and spelling. So look, I've made a question here. Well, it's a gap fill actually. I nearly missed my flight and everything was fine, but everything was fine, sorry. I was so, everything's okay. I'm on the plane. And I've given myself the first 2 letters, sometimes that's good as well. And I've also put a spelling question mark. Can you see that? Spelling question mark. So I want to know the spelling. Now the answer is relieved. Okay, now how do you spell relieved? R-E-L. That's a tricky one. Is it I-E or E-I? I think I-E-V-E-D. I-E is more common. I'll maybe make another video about that. And then you can check, and there you are. Everything's good. Okay, that might be everything, I think. I'm just, let me just check my notes, okay? So just my conclusion, okay? So my conclusion, as I said at the beginning, I think these are really good if you use them properly, okay? Don't rush them. Try and make that link, try and think of a link in your language. Try to write an example, okay? test, have a test question maybe to help you so you can test yourself. Okay, get that repetition every day, again and again, until you really know it. Okay, and paper or app, have a look in the description below for the links to other videos and for the apps and for anything else. And I should also mention my good friend Ollie. He's not my friend. Well, I would like him to be my friend. Ollie Richards is a language expert. He has some great podcasts about flashcards. So if you want some more detail, he's a big fan of flashcards. And don't forget, my son keeps telling me, you must say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and there was something else. Click notifications, perhaps? I'm not sure. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in another video soon, I hope. Thank you, bye.